Hello, my love. Good morning to you. I hope that this finds you well and rested, and I hope that you are looking forward to your day, or at least looking forward to something in your day. I was thinking about the idea of a single story, or the danger of a single story, and this is a concept that I, like most concepts, is almost all of my concepts. It is not my own, but it is something that I picked up from Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who gave a TED talk on this subject. And when she was talking about it, or as I understand the way she was talking about it, the danger of the single story is in that we can look at people and construct a story about them in our mind and apply that story to that person and sort of adhere it to them. And that's how we always view them. And that is a very limiting way to look at someone. And she talked about this in terms of her own life and also in terms of her art, to which it even doubly applies because if your characters represent a single story and are not multifaceted, that makes for stilted writing, or at least in my opinion. But what it made me think about is the danger of applying that concept to ourselves, in that we often create stories in our minds of who we are, or stories that explain the kind of person that we are and why we do the things that we do. And there is a danger in applying that to ourselves, just as applying it to others limits our perception of other people and does not allow us to see the breadth of their character or pigeonholes them or apply stereotypes. If we have a single story for ourselves, or at least a single story for certain actions or parts of our being, that too can greatly limit us and limit our potential, and we can often do so much more than we think. But when we apply a single story to ourselves, it cabins the expanse of options. For instance, per se, there's a certain behavior, or at least I could say for myself that I have a certain behavior, and I could say it's because of how I was raised, and even have a story of certain incidents that typify the genesis of this behavior. And will say to myself, that is why I do X, that is why I am the way I am. But when I do that, and apply that single story, even though it is a way to help me process what has happened in my life. It's one thing to look at it and say, okay, this happened and that may be why I am acting a certain way, or that could have an effect on how I act. But the danger is when you lock yourself in. I am X kind of person because of this thing that happened to me, and that's why I always don't succeed in a certain regard, or don't achieve X, or why I am always acting, even if it's positive, robustly in a certain way, but then you fall into a track and you only act in that way. And that is something I caution against, I guess. So it was just something that was exposed to me in my life, and I found as a useful warning in what to, or how not to think about myself, and most especially others, but also myself. So I just thought I would share that with you. I hope that you are well. I hope that you go forth with goodness, and that goodness comes to you, and that you spread it to others. And I love you.